today is the last day of Carnivale. I need you to pay attention. Don't get put out today. That would be really dumb. Marco is this boy, and he lives in Venice. Venice is kind of crowded, and Carnivale. Talk about it. Put your name down. On the left, a small orange cat. Can you see? That's really tough.
Oh, everybody over here.
Over here. The path where they're going to be going.
Go.
Okay, ready?
One little duck with the feather on his back. Show the feather. He ruled the others with a... No, come on, go around. With the flap, flap, flap.
Well, let's try a fractional sentence. Who has it? Sarah. You, Sandy? Down there, though. 1/3. Put the red trash is already there. So turn the red down. Down there. Okay. Now you with us? No? Let's try that again. And let's do the fractions in order. All right. Plus 2 6 equals... How many altogether? 5 6. Try again. Who else will read that number sentence?
And the first man that's coming out is Rasta Man! And a very special guy, Draggy
A little bit about DARE before we start handing out the certificate. It's a 17-week course that we give to the 6th grade students on how to resist drugs. It's not an identification course, it's not any kind of course of that nature. It's how to resist drugs, how to say no when the time comes and they're pressured to take drugs.
Drugs can make you do crazy and irresponsible things, such as drinking and driving. They cause you to have an unhealthy body and mind. When on drugs, life no longer lasts.
And if you don't watch it, you can die from them. You don't need drugs to hang out with people or to be cool at parties. If your friends take drugs, they're not worth being friends with because they'll just end up getting you in trouble and getting themselves into trouble.
Against the handle, full pressure, for about a slow count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not leave these sitting on top of the paper. If you do, the ink begins to act like a glue. I can see this is a light print. It's uneven
And that's largely because the ink didn't stick that well. So now if I...
All children exercising simultaneously. At 10 this morning, kids throughout the Mediterranean put down their pencils and put on their running shoes. Air Force Sergeant Ronald Sutmiller reports on how the scene looked at Vicenza.
The North 40 track turned into an exercise playground this morning as kids from Vicenza's Elementary School.
And we're doing a fast walk this morning for 15 minutes for aerobic health.
Vicenza's Elementary School is only one of thousands of schools throughout the world participating in Year 2 of the program. Last year, over 5 million kids in 40 countries from over 10,000 schools exercised simultaneously. Allowing for time zone changes, schools throughout the Med and the world chose 10 a.m. for their quarter-hour heart conditioning.
It's to show that we're together on our exercising and that American youth are not as unfit as people think they are.
Each participating school chose different activities. In Aviano, all 540 students spent their 15 minutes doing aerobics. From Vicenza, I'm Air Force Sergeant Ronald Sutmiller, SCB News.
And Sarah's wearing a dress that her mother wore when she was 10 years old. And the dress, the skirt shows us some of the countryside and some of the things that people do in Mexico.
Yes, look at there. My mom, Korean, they come to South Korea. We stay there. So we have a lot that nice. Okay. I never see him, I didn't. Not really see you.
Yeah, just sort of maybe the countryside around. Lovely, and you brought us some traditional foods today. Could you tell us what that is that you brought for us to get? This is what...
Okay. The other ones, this one here, and these over on the side, are straight. They don't have that little hook in the corner. And some of you guys.
What is the difference between hearing something that's copied from a book and something that an author has put in their own words? How
Pick it out real quick because if they read the whole book.
Going to announce the judgment of the student council because they choose the first, second, and third places from grade kindergarten to grade 3 and from grade 4 to grade 6. National Dancing Academy in Rome, she received numerous official acknowledgments and awards. The school follows the complete classical and modern program of the National Dance Academy of Rome. With Mrs. Paolone works her daughter, Silvia Zaccaria.
And they can also tell you Michelangelo's David is by far the most famous. After all, they've stood in his shadow. 33 fourth graders, 3 teachers, and 9 moms all made an overnight study trip to Florence. It's an annual event for teachers Betts Linden and Lillian Kalutza, along with their good friend Lila Martin. The trip began Thursday morning, just outside Vicenza Elementary School. It's a 3.5-hour bus trip to Florence. Student and mom alike used their time wisely, studying up on the city. Once in town, students were broken up into 3 groups, each equipped with 1 teacher and 3 moms. And from there, with clipboard in hand, they set out to explore the Renaissance treasures of Florence.
This is the baptistry. It has 3 doors on it, and it has some of the doors on it were 2 of them were made by Pisano. No, one of them was made by Pisano, and the other 2 were made by Ghiberti.
This was more than just a sightseeing trip for the students. They were actually introduced to the basics of art history through books and lectures in the classroom. Now in Florence, they were able to get inside the minds of the artists.
He studied the Pantheon, and then he came back here, and he knew that the architect of the Duomo couldn't put the top on of his dome, his Duomo.
So been that way for a long time.
It rained in it, and for a long time, they didn't know what to do with it.
One of the ways the teachers get their kids ready for the study trips is by incorporating ideas about art in every possible subject. For example, spelling lists include the names of cities and sculptures, and reading includes stories about artists and events of the Renaissance era.
Give me an L. L. Give me an L.
Knowledge stays with them.
We've had kids, Ms. Palooza and I, both that have come back and in college, and they still have their Florence booklets, or they're studying architecture or art. And so even though they were only 10 when they did it, perhaps it's made a difference.
Travel has intensified learning, every moment a lesson in life, encouraging the understanding and appreciation of various cultures. Most American children view Europe's art capital through the pages of a lifeless textbook. But for these American children, Michelangelo's David, the Duomo, the Uffizi Gallery are living lessons. In Florence, for Uplink, I'm Specialist Dan Valor.
And that led us to picking a country or a state that we might do some investigation and some research about. And that represents the beginning of their first report. And in this first report, we have all the elements that they need in the upper grades. When they're assigned a report, they know that it has to have a title page, it has to have a table of contents, it has to have maps and photographs and sample pictures of the thing that they're talking about. It has to have a nicely written report in their own words, and they've learned a technique called mapping, which allows them to get down the facts quickly in a kind of flow chart. All right, Max? We'll just do about, Mr. Williams, do you have enough time to?
Yes.
Sort of.
Dawn is the time when the birds come to sing. The night before dawn opens a giant safe and takes out. May brings flowers with sweet, glorious smells that makes us smile. So don't be sad, just be forever glad. I'll come back. No, cried the moon. No. I like when the
Mr. State, they complained about the slide also.
About the what?
The broom slide.
Slide.
And they said that they're not the ones who messed it up. Once in a while.
Well, I don't have to be tough. All right, who wants to talk about slide? Miss Mary.
The reason that they complain is because they always say that the slide is off limits for about a week, and it's because of certain people, and I don't know who and things, but it does go off limits. The people that look at somebody doing something wrong, but they don't do anything about it. Yeah. They don't want to.
historically the role is that of the school principals to do that, is because sixth graders the very next year are going to be in high school, and there will no longer be any kind of a requirement that they be here.
Now I'm in fifth grade, and you come and you go to the water fountain down here. What if they turn the water fountains upside on? Because it freezes.
They like hook one.
On the water fountain? I'm building right now, so we know about what time we'll spend together. Mr. Williams has asked if he could take a few videos of our group here, because he's doing a collage of the entire school in video. And this morning I met with a group of students, and he took some of that, and he asked if he could do this. So do you mind to conduct a series of parent forums? At that time I was working in Stuttgart, Germany, and what we used to do in the Stuttgart district, because we had a bunch of schools in Stuttgart and a bunch of schools in the Würzburg area, we would just have two meetings, one up there and one down in Stuttgart, and representatives would come from a bunch of different schools. So we'd have maybe 20, 25 parents representing 8 or 10 schools. And in that period of time, 2.5 years, we're now down to 5,000 students. So in the last 2.5 years, Italy itself, just the 14 schools in Italy, have dropped about 600 students. So roughly, say, 10% of our student population has dropped.
He's a member of the Sac Fox Indian Nation. He was born at Fort Sill Indian Reservation, where his mother was a teacher in the reservation school. His mother was acquainted with the famous Apache Indian Chief Jerimo, who was being held at Fort Sill. Mr. Kelso joined the U.S. Army at 17, and he served with distinction in various branches. He served in Italy in the Judge Advocate Office, where he met his wife. Mr. Kelso's daughter and son both attended Vicenza High School. In the years that he has lived in Vicenza, he has shared his Native American heritage with both Italian and American schools. We're very delighted to have him, and thank him for coming. Give him a big hand.
Yesterday we had a lot of requests from the students to beat the drums, so we're going to. The other, some people wanted to dance. Real easy. This is a Kiowa round dance. Real slow, keep time with the drum and the music. Demonstration. We don't have Mr. Georgia here, so we can't do his dance. And then the third one will be what we call a sneak-up dance.
One key to peace in this world is an understanding of and appreciation of other cultures. And Mr. Kelso has spent a lot of time to bring his beautiful objects into our school, to allow us to touch them, to ask questions, and to bring his friends and share something very beautiful with us. So please join me in a thank you.
Change each transparency. Think of all the wonderful people you're likely to meet. My stomach growls when I sense good food. To eat, I'm always in the mood. I must think of my way before it's much too late. Lunch money. My lunch money is hard to find. Where should I look this time? On my desk? On the ground? Oh no, it'll never be found. I have fun in the summer and in the spring. I have fun always as I and swing. The Middle Ages began with the fall of Rome in the 5th century. This time it is also called the Dark Ages or Medieval Time. In the years following, education came to a standstill in Western Europe. The only formal education was a religious nature. The monasteries kept all books from being destroyed. They were all written in Latin. Only about 2% of the people were able to read and write. The only learning was done by the Roman Church. Each kingdom had its own coat of arms. The same emblem was worn on the tunic of all knights of the kingdom. The kingdom used its own symbol and colors on the emblem. The symbols might be a bird, an animal, a crescent, a star, a face, a ship, a tree, and so forth. To become a knight, a nobleman's young son first had to be a page. The page was trained by the knights in the art of fighting, writing, and the worship of God. This training continued until the age of 14. At the age of 14, he became a squire. The squire took care of the knight's armor and helped him put it on. At the age of 21, the schooling was finished. During the Middle Ages, falcons were often used for hunting and for sport. They were highly trained for hunting rooks, blackbirds, starlings, pigeons, and pheasants. After killing a predator, the falcon would return quickly to the falconer's glove. The falconer wore a thick leather glove with a long sleeve to protect him from the pointed claws and strong grip of the falcon. The falcon flies very fast and can dive at the speeds up to 175 miles an hour. The large cathedrals of the Dark Ages were built to be very high. Without additional support, the walls would fall and bring down the roof. The flying buttress gave the additional support to the walls and the roof. The flying buttresses were built completely around the cathedrals. The cathedrals were built in the form of a cross. The altars always faced the east. There were many large windows in the cathedrals of colored stained glass. Beams of light from the sun caused ever-changing reflections in the cathedrals. The buildings of the cathedrals took over 100 years.
first drawing full-size designs. The pieces of thick glass of various colors are placed on the drawing. They are joined together with lead strips that were then soldered in place. The rose windows, as shown here, and other stained glass windows represent a religious figure. Stained glass windows can be found in all the great cathedrals of Europe. The colors of the beautiful windows are just as bright as they were made during the Dark Ages. Scientists have discovered that glass of these windows have not suffered any damage due to pollution. Gargoyles were monsters in stone that were placed on the top of the cathedrals. It was believed that these scary-looking demons would chase away evil spirits. They were not there for decoration, but were meant to teach a lesson to all. In the Middle Ages, most people were illiterate. Gargoyles ordinarily were simply disguises of waterspouts. To the right of the picture is the low-sounding string instrument, the gapa. Sound was made by pulling a bow across the string. In the center is the bugle or hunting horn. It was first used by hunters, but later was played with other groups of instruments. Above the horn is the recorder. It is made out of wood. On the top of it, there are holes to play different tones. Sound was made, the horn and recorder was made by blowing it. Below the horn is another string instrument, the lute. The lute was made out of wood with strings stretched over it. Sound was made by plucking the strings while the other hand moves over the fingerboard to change the tones. The music of the Middle Ages was notated by notes that were then called neumes. The neumes told the player or singer actually when to change the tones, how long to play the tones, and how loud or soft to play them. The notation that we use today grew from the neumes. Most of the music of this time is religious and written in Latin language. The words pace and amen mean peace, so be it. But during these dark times, they were little peace between the warlords. During the Dark Ages, some men would choose to lead a religious life by becoming a monk. They most often would live in a community. Their day consisted of praying to God and working on farms. They were very important because they protected books. They made handwritten copies of all them in their libraries. The history of mankind would have lost to us had it not been for these religious men. Francis of Assisi in Italian is one of the most famous of all monks. The people of the Middle Ages had many gardens where they grew fruits and vegetables. They grew herbs and flowers for sausage and salads. They kept bees to make honey for sweetening. They trapped rabbits and birds of all kinds and fish for salmons and eels and trout. The gardens were beautiful too, where families could spend time together after a hard days of work in the fields. When you hear the tone, turn the page. The Rain book by Courtney Horton. Pictures and music by Courtney Horton. Dedicated to my parents. it was raining. On Tuesday, it rained on the cats. On Wednesday, it was raining on the deer. On Thursday, it was raining on the tree. On Friday, it was raining on the road. On Saturday, it was raining on the car. On Sunday, it was raining on the playground. On Monday, it was raining on the spiders. On Tuesday, it was raining on the house. On Wednesday, it was raining on the grass. On Thursday, it stopped raining because the sun came out. Pictures by Rosemary Joyner, music by J.S. Buck, picture played by Mr. Williams, dedicated to my friends. I live in a place that is called Villaggio. It is nice there. I love to play with my toys. I love playing and eating in my backyard because we have a table in our backyard to eat on. I love biking with my friends. There is lots of things to do, but sometimes I go to the park. There is a place to go swimming in Villaggio. After swimming, I walk home. I love home because I grow sunflowers. At the end of the day, I say to God, good night. About the author, Rose Garner. I'm 8 years old. I go to elementary school, and I was born in Virginia. My second grade teacher is Miss Rachel Garibay. I have 3 brothers and 4 sisters. My father is in the U.S. Army. My mother is a singer. Where I live is my first book. I'm planning to write many more in the future.
Boys and girls, that was an excellent coming out. Everybody was very quiet, very good. I'd like everybody... To commemorate the 200 years, we're going to wave our flags and ring our bells for 200 seconds. I want you all, very quietly, get your bells ready, hold your flags up, and when I say the word go, we're going to start. I've got the big bell. We're going to start ringing the bells. Everybody say ding-a-ling-a-ling. 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 Oh, nice. Okay, stop. Is a long, long time. And 200 years is a very, very long time. Relatively unchanged. We're going to get ready to go. I would like the patrols, right now, all the school safety patrols, to dismiss themselves and quietly walk to their posts, right now.